I gotta fix that. Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris. How are you doing today? It's Friday. It is Friday. I'm ready for Friday. I got a lot of work to do. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday. If you caught the show, I was on set and wasn't able to run the show. Last minute, I pulled down, I think it was Monday or Tuesday's episode, and ran it for you, just for those who wanted something to watch. So apologies for not being here yesterday. One of those deals where I work on set here in Albuquerque area. There's a lot of filming going on here. And sometimes they don't let me know that they need me until the day before. So there we go. Let's see. Good morning, Ricardo Mikhail 12. Thank you for joining us over on Twitch. Nice to have you. We're streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Trovo. And of course, Facebook, the Facebook pages that Philip Lister usually shields us out on. I appreciate that. I'm actually making a list of, I got them in a folder so I can start doing it myself to save him the labor. But good morning, everyone. So anybody got any big plans this weekend? I've of course have been doing some stuff trying to get this show working. Looks like it's working okay so far this morning. I've been having some technical difficulties. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if it's going to work over here. Still working over here? Yeah, it looks like it's all working. Who would have thunk it? I blessed it, prayed over it, Jedi mind trick. I think maybe the wife burning the sage over it helped. Maybe. We'll see. Also, I went back and looked in some of the parts yesterday where I'd been going, oh no, it's not working. I kind of came back and looked later, and apparently it was just stuttery here on my screen, and the stream itself actually looked okay. I shouldn't have been complaining. We'll see how it goes. I need a new computer is what I need. So good morning, all of you. Thank you all. Again, I got monetized this week, so if you're new, pop up and become a member if you're down for that sort of thing. I love memberships. I want to start working on, back in the day, the last time, this is a mistake I made, friends, I want to share this with you. The last time I did the Daily Atheist Morning Show, I got so focused on making content, the show, doing the show, trying to build the show, that whenever I did finally get Patreons and stuff like that, I never really did anything over on the Patreon. Every now and then I drop something over there, but I finally got them to be sponsors. And then I didn't have enough bandwidth to go, okay, you've done your part over here. Now do over here. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm starting developing for my channel members and doing stuff like that. One of the things I'm going to do, I noticed Kentucky Atheist does this a lot. He's got live streams for members only. And I thought, okay, I'll do that. So I went in there and I set up my tiers. I was like, the lowest tier gets this, your name and the thank yous and all that. And then at the very end, the top tier gets, gets a live stream. And I was going around, I thought, that's exactly the opposite way I should do it. Every member should be able to join the members only live stream. So I switched it out last night. So if you're a member, I'm going to start doing members only live streams, probably in the evening. See how that goes. Let's see. Philip Lister, good morning. Philip, we were just talking about you. It was all good. Thank you for joining us this morning. Nice to have you. I was telling the crew here, the peeps, that I'm got a folder I'm collecting Facebook groups in, so someday I'll be able to. I tried to find a program to help me shill them out to all of them. Haven't found anything that would work for me yet. So let me catch up and see what is going on here. We're through the 25. Yeah, I have to say I haven't dropped any videos that were, I guess, did any traction this week very well. So our subscriber drive has slowed down. We've only gotten 20 in the last 2 or 3 days. But actually that's pretty good considering that, we were rocking right along Friday, it all stopped and we got like 4 subscribers the whole weekend. So I don't know. We'll keep working at it. So, trying to get things going. I'm going to start working on developing the show. Hopefully I've gotten the tech side down of things. I've been working on it. Let me know if it's still a little glitchy. See me popping up in interesting places. That's good to know. Catching up. Oh, Ricardo Mikhail wants to know if I supported Trump or Kamala Harris. Yeah, I supported Kamala Harris. So, yeah. I actually like women and brown people and gay and trans people. I think they're all pretty cool. They should all be treated equally. And therefore, I did not vote for Trump. Trump represents a Christian theocracy that's trying to overthrow our nation. He and the the GOP conservatives have sold out our country for the votes from the Christian right, and for those votes, they're trying to implement the Christian dogmas that they feel they need to inflict upon everybody, whether they're Christian or not. That's where this whole abortion issue stems from. So And now I've got some definite, now on my stuff here, it looks like I'm stuttering, but I'm going to just trust it's looking pretty good, and I'll review it back. If anybody starts complaining, I'll start working on it. I installed Discord off this computer earlier. I've done everything to try to get it to work, play nice. I say I've done everything. I'll do the thing. The last thing I try will work. Let me turn off the heater there so we can sound a little better. Good morning, Giles. Thank you for joining us. So let me ask you, Ricardo Mikhail, who did you vote for? Did you support Trump or did you support Kamala Harris? Yeah, Dane Darklight says puppy 18 puppies. That's cool. That's a lot of dog, right? A lot of mouth feed. I have 5, as you can see, scrolling through our little thing over here. They're our studio. They run the show pretty much. One day I want to get an actual crew and they're going to be all pissed because I won't treat them as nice as I do my dogs. Giles says, I prefer presidents that aren't criminal liars, that haven't been found liable for sexual assault, that haven't been convicted of 34 felony counts of for fraud. 34 felony convictions. You know, I that's not the kind of president I like. But, you know, I mean, he was running against a woman and a person of color. So there was no way, right? Very disappointing in our nation. Very disappointing. Let me go here. Wow. Let me see. What is going on today? I've been working on getting our stuff together for some new shows. Ghostface, hey, how are you doing this morning? Nice to see you. Sorry I missed you all yesterday as I was on set doing stuff. There you go. Nice to have you, Ghostface. Just nice to have you. A little announcement I'd like to make going forward. I managed to, I reached out to the Atheist Experience, ACA. I'm sorry, the Atheist. I should refer to them as the ACA. I reached out to the ACA. I had some interviews with them, and I've been accepted on one of their shows. And we don't have any links yet. They don't build the links till the Monday before, so don't hold me to that just yet. Don't go over it looking and go, how come there ain't no links? Because so the December 6th, I will be on Truth Wanted. So that was wonderful. Just some good information. I think I actually have the puppy cam working today. There we go. The puppy cam is working. I finally got that part of it working. There are no puppies in the puppy cam area right now. They're all in the other room doing their thing. Working. They're working is what they're doing. Good morning, JT. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're having a great day. Fridge makers. Fridge Makara, I hope I said your name right, Fridge Makara, says, I think that blaming Kamala's loss solely on her being a black woman is selling Trump a little short. Say what you like about him, but no. That wasn't really talking about Trump and his effort. It was talking about the effort on the people on the left. I know it might have sounded like a slight on Trump, but it wasn't. It was a slight on the Democrats. All those people who withheld their votes because Kamala Harris wasn't doing X, Y, and Z the way they thought she should be doing, whatever. That's kind of who I've got a video about that. In case you're curious, that's kind of who I'm at. You're right. Trump, I mean, clearly he's got a following. And then this is my opinion, Fridge, is that it's not really necessarily that the American people are, because, you know, we think that Donald Trump is, I say we, me, and whomever agrees with me, think that Donald Trump is kind of a piece of crap. And why would you vote for him? And only a few, and he does so many things. He lies. They all this misinformation that they spread out. Between Donald Trump and Fox News and all those little affiliates, the right-wing affiliates, they all spread out so much misinformation that our country isn't shit. Our citizens are good people. Just a huge load of them were just lied to over and over and over again, repeatedly lied to over and over again. I mean, that's kind of my feeling on it. I want to feel that. They're right, though. I have to admit that whenever they say they want to take America back to where it was, where they thought it was great, that's our country has always been that way. We've always oppressed people. We've always oppressed people within and without. Always. We founded a country of free men based on slavery. And then Andrew Jackson, the president, I don't know if he's president at the time, but the great Indian killer went through massacring thousands and thousands and thousands of Indians. I mean, this is kind of who we are. And then the Jim Crow era. Now, there's always been, I say good people, because that's my line. They align with my mentality. You can't really say, there's always been people struggling against that, struggling for equality and freedom. There's always been those kind of people in our country, but that's always been the minority. You know, in the last century, women, well, we've been talking about on the show for a couple of weeks, women were lifting the oppression that had been on them. We didn't really talk about the black people of color in general. We didn't talk about any of that necessarily concerning their rights. They didn't have rights either. and they were first slaves, and then they were under the Jim Crow era, and then they finally got to, and then they get the finally got to vote, and then they get oppressed, and all of these things. I mean, this is what our country is. What Donald Trump and the far right represent is what our country is. It's what it has been for 250 years. To a degree, not fully, right? Not obviously the Dr. Oz, but that's what, you know, we've always had our political people up there in their nice suits going, we are good, cultivated individuals. And they were always the representative, but then once you got down to the base level, we were always just kind of shit, like I just described. And now the people at the top in the politics, at least on the right, have given up any facade of being, you know, upstanding citizens. They're the worst of the worst from our perspective. And I say that as far as like from the left, from the right, they're like, oh, she's the worst of the worst. She really fights for all these woke ideologies and all these things. Over on the left, we're like, yeah, he's the worst of the worst. He essayed children. He's done this. He's been accused of this. He's had other politicians help undermine the investigations into him. That's kind of the difference, you know, between the accusations on the two. Looking at you, Matt Gaetz, looking at you. Yeah, so good morning, Bustelo. I want to mention here real quick to my wonderful moderators. If you're those of you, I'm going to mention this again and again as we go through, because man, I love my moderators and I trust my moderators. But I would appreciate it if we could more employ timeout rather than just banning people. Sometimes they deserve it. Anybody says anything about the wife, the daughter, you know, like that one guy come up and said something about the daughter, offensive, and I don't ever want to see him again. But I mean, just these normal, we got like Pastor Dean. Unless Pastor Dean really gets out of hand, let's time out his ass is responsible, because they do tend to get offensive sometimes. I'm just asking my mods to please employ timeout, because I went through this morning. I was like, oh, where's that guy been? Oh, he's been gone. Now I get it. Here's part of the deal though about these people. It's one thing when they attack and they use verbalities and they attack or whatever. We got rules against certain things, but their purpose is to present different ideas. And if we ban them all before long, the chat is just kind of, where'd everybody go? So I'm just asking my moderators, because I do trust you. I do trust my mods. The chat's gotten so fast, I probably don't know what Pastor Dean said to get himself, Pastor Huckleberry, I think at the time. So I went and unbanned a few people this morning that I recognized from this version of the show. So Mr. So-and-so, I think I probably banned him myself. And a couple of them. It's not, I'm just asking if we can just go easy on the ban and more, let's use that timeout, my friends, if we don't mind. Simply Secular Dave, thank you for joining us. Yeah, the trolls are good for the metrics until they're not. Yeah, until they cross that line. And then when they do cross that line, I'm just asking, let's employ timeout. Let's go, all right, dude, we're going to put you in timeout for saying shit like that. My mods, you guys are wonderful. And a lot of you have different views on what's an attack and what's not an attack. I was glancing the chat the other day and Pastor Huckleberry said I was going to go to hell. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm wearing a hat, dude. And other people, my mods in the chat going, don't be threatening people. I don't take it that way. If he says he's getting in his truck and heading to my house, that's different. But if he tells me he's going to threaten me with hell, I'm not really too worried about that, friends. Thank you. Thank you. So I do thank you all. I'm just asking us if we could use the ban hammer a little less and use the timeout hammer a little more, just so we don't lose those people who prove interesting to the channel. Matter of fact, Dane, I saw your name in here. Dane, buddy, are you here still with us, Dane? Dane? I noticed Dane had made a response video to me, and I went and made a little comment, on his post. I thought it was really cool that he did that, and I posted. we don't all share the same thing, and that's cool. Dane's got his beliefs. Everybody. I thought, well, okay, but other than that, I never really seen him. As I was going through the thing, apparently he'd showed up and somebody banned him for something he said. You got to be careful. I mean, we're very open. If you start talking like hate speech against trans people or something like that, you're going to get yourself banned. I like them more than I do bigots. I'm just saying. I'm not saying bigots are good for the channel, but they can be good for the channel. All right. So, good morning, Sandy. Thank you for joining us. Up at the top. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know why it does it. You've got to, every morning I set it to live chat, and every time I pop in, it always puts it to top chat. So good morning, Philosophish. Thank you for joining us. See, that's an interesting point. Ricardo says, I'm so glad Trump won the race. So glad America will be moving back in the right direction. Now, what direction are you talking about? Are you talking about the direction of removing women's rights? Or what are you talking about? Because they've already started doing that. They're very open about that. You can't really deny that they're doing that. Unless you're for that, then then that's actually kind of a type of birth slave, the way some states have done it. If they're not going to let you get any information about, so if they don't want you to be educated, they don't want you to have prevention, they don't want to let you have any kind of abortion, whether it's for rape, incest, none of that stuff. They won't let you have none of that. And then they won't let you travel to get that done anywhere. And none of that is even their business at all. That's a form of birth slave. That's a uterus slave is what you have there. You have a person who's their most valuable asset is their uterus. So, improving the economy, deporting illegal criminals, and bringing production back to the USA. Okay, that's a good point. I like those points. That's really improving the economy. I don't think Donald Trump will do that. Every time they've gotten in office, they've destroyed the economy. Donald Trump did this last time too. The economy was actually going in the shithole before the cooties hit. You just kind of don't really know it because the cooties hit. And whenever the cooties hit, they all of a sudden started reaching out to the Fed and we're going to get a $2 trillion loan to back shit up. And that kind of flooded and floated him to keep him from looking like such a shit president he was. But go look historically. Every time conservatives have gotten in office, they've hurt the economy. Point one. Go look. You don't have to trust me. Go look for it yourself. We got 100 years of it. And go look at how many jobs have been created over the past 50 years by Democrats and Republicans, and you'll find that almost none by Republicans and millions by Democrats. Go look it up yourself. You don't have to trust me. So there's that. And then this whole, it's moving. This deporting illegal criminals thing. That's you've been lied to. Donald Trump, the Democrats actually tried to fix that, tried to work with the conservatives. The conservatives agreed it was going to pass and it was going to begin mending the situation on the border. But your Donald Trump intentionally hurt this country. He intentionally hurt this country and told his conservative friends to scuttle that, and they did. And they hurt this country for political points so Donald Trump could get into office. So I don't know how you feel about that either. It's a really underhanded way of running a business, running a country, to hurt your own people to get political campaign points. All right, let's move on to the next point you had there. I just want to see here while we got it. And bringing production back to the USA. He's not going to do that. I don't know where you get that at all. Go look at the examples in Detroit where he promised all these car plants were going to go down. They're going to be blah, 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 and before they lost like 15 plants. Go look yourself. Don't trust me, man. Just you really should. Clearly, you are highly misinformed. You listen to way too much right-wing crap. Because all of those things are wrong. And you remember Donald Trump, whenever we had the COVID, a very real, very, very deadly disease spreading across our country, and he was going around and his conservative friends telling him not to social distance, not to wear masks. Thousands, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people died. Herman Cain literally caught the cooties at one of Donald Trump's rallies and died from it. Was it one of Donald? It was definitely a right-wing rally party. I'm pretty sure it was a Donald Trump rally. Look at that. Remember the body bags? Do you remember the trucks, the freezer trucks full of bodies? Do you remember the run on hand lotion or hand sanitizer? Do you remember all the problems that were going on, the riots in the street because of the things that were going on with the police and killing people and all? You don't remember any of that? But you had cheaper gas. Do you know why you had cheaper gas? Do you know why you had cheaper gas? Let me tell you why you had. It wasn't because Trump was some president, some kind of wonderful. It was actually Trump's doing. It was Trump's doing. Trump actually got you cheaper gas. by denying the science and pissing off everything and doing everything exactly wrong, including tinkering with the the CDC's website, including tinkering with the CDC's website to spread their right-wing misinformation. Because of that, the cooties ravaged our nation. And because the cooties ravaged our nation, no one was traveling. And because no one was traveling, the gas prices went down because the stocks went up. And therefore, you're right, Donald Trump did give you good gas prices. And it cost a lot of American lives to do it. We lost more American lives under Donald Trump's mishandling of the cooties than we did in World War II against the mustache man in Japan. Donald Trump unalived more Americans with his mishandling of cooties than we lost in Japan, and he did it in a quarter of the time. So this notion that he did us good, and now what he's doing is he's selling out everybody to the Christian right for their vote so he can get power. Now they have power. And now they're imposing their shit on us. Anyway. Well, yeah, here, I got this. This is really nice. I like how we like to spread the blame around. Yeah, it's hard to say it was entirely Trump's fault. Oh, yeah, it wasn't hard. That the economy went to shit because COVID hit, but it was already going to shit. That's what I started mentioning. You don't give away taxes to billionaires and millionaires and all those and then not put it in. I mean, he did everything wrong. The country was already going to shit before the cooties hit. That's kind of the point. Then, when the cooties hit, Donald Trump did everything wrong. He intentionally had people spreading this disease. He finally got it, and then what did he get? He was out there telling people to put bleach up their ass and or lights up their ass and bleach in their skin and all this other stuff. But when he got the cooties, he did what? He went to the best fucking hospital in the whole damn country and got the absolute best cutting edge medicine he could have possibly gotten. He didn't get the shit everybody else was getting. No. He got the absolute best science and technology and medicine that you could possibly get. No chlorine up his ass for him. No. Hydrochlorochlorine. No. And did you see what he did when he flies back in? Here comes a helicopter and he lands and he huffs and puffs his fat ass up the stairs. And then he gets to the top of the stairs and he turns around in front of all the cameras and he rips off his masks. Hundreds of thousands of people have died. He had gotten the cooties himself, had to get the best fucking medicine possible. And what does he do? He goes continuing on this facade that the disease wasn't really all that important, and take off your mask, be brave, be strong. What a bunch of crap, right? What kind of leader, kind of hero bullshit is that? And I've got a video on it. Let me see if I've got it here. Let me see if I've got it keyed up. No, I don't think I have it here. MAGA Church, Conspirowin, Liar. Stop the Steal. No, I don't have it. Damn it. I'll have to get that one, because I do have, I bet I got it on my computer. I could show it to you because I'm smart that way. Is Donald Trump. And let me know, guys, I'm working on my computer. Let me know if it starts looking like it's getting, the videos looking like shit. Just, because sometimes they do. Let me go right here real quick. I'm going to show you if I got this for you. I will show it to you. YouTube. Commercial. It's all right. So you're going to like this, Donald Trump supporters. You're going to think, oh, no, it's a bunch of lies. But you're welcome to go look it up. Let me see. It's bound to be here. TikTok. MAGA Church. Resolute. That's a good one, too. Did Trump sell out our American supply? No, I guess I can't find it. That sucks. I'll have to find it later. I've got a video talking about it. I got the numbers. Right there that I talk about how many people died under Trump's mishandling of the cooties. Now, listen, it was a plague. That's true. We knew it was a plague. Even I can't realistically say all those lives are his fault. We can't, because they would have got, it's to some degree. But just imagine, had both sides of the aisle, both sides of the political sphere been going, this is real, we need to do something. And instead of one side of it going, oh, let's all have Thanksgiving together without masks, invite old grandma over. Right? And how many people died just because of that? Literally, just because of that. To hell with that cooties. We ain't doing no cooties. We're going to do Thanksgiving. We're going to get the whole family together. And then some little kid comes from school and they got the cooties, but they handle it pretty well and they don't even know. They just think they got a sniffle, cough. I actually caught the cooties, and I didn't know I had the cooties. I'd actually been vaccinated, so it didn't hit me that hard. I thought I had like a little head cold. Turns out I had the full-blown cooties. But then you got run into grandma or grandpa up there, or some younger person with a compromised immune system, and guess what you got? You've got a week or so later people unalived. I actually talked about on my show what they should do is if they're going to insist on having Thanksgiving parties, they should be prepared to have Christmas funerals. I remember Kirk Cameron coming out and intentionally hosting these Christian gatherings where they would get together, no mass. They don't want no mass. Their God is stronger. I actually made a video called Jesus Will Let You Die. And that's what it was all about because, absolutely, he will. Christians have been dying for hundreds of years. What makes you special? Why is Jesus going to protect you from the COVID when he didn't protect all of those people from the Spanish plague, from the this, from the that, from the Black Plague, from the bubonic plague? The spectrum of diseases that have wiped out Christians. And yet you're special. Good morning, Left-Handed Jedi. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining us. Tucker Carlson. The Herman Cain Awards. Yeah, that's right. A Mike Nesmith's Christian. That's interesting. Let me see here. Philip Lister. All hail AstraZeneca. Yeah. Well, you remember. That's essentially what it was. Whenever Donald Trump got the cooties, all of a sudden it was important. And but before that, he spread. And then even after that, after he was healed, he continued to spread misinformation about it and all this. And that all leads us back to what I was saying about the country. The country isn't as shit as we thought it is. It's where it came from. True. I've already admitted that. That's where the country came from. It came from a shit place in history because of all the slavery, the Indian deaths, all that stuff. We can go on. Jim Crow, oppressing women, the whole thing. Our country is not this glorious shining knight that we want to think it is. But we want it to be. Those on the left of us want it to be that glorious shining knight that it can be. Those on the right want to keep it to be this oppressive, whatever the hell. I think that chances are in their hearts, they feel the same way. They want it to be good. They just don't see it the same way. It's really either that or we have a whole bunch of shit people in our country. I don't know. That's a great question. I'll have to think about that one. Good morning, Phantom X11. Thank you for joining us. Philosophish says, my uncle nearly died after Thanksgiving 2020 because he believed Trump. Right? How many people literally died because they believed Donald Trump? Because our president came out and denied the science that the best medical professionals in the country were telling him. And, also on another point, by the way, whenever things like tests did become available, Donald Trump sent Vladimir Putin tests. Donald Trump has been sucking Vladimir Putin's dick for forever now. And it's not going to get any better. The president of the United States now is Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump is the vice president. I'm going to make that a point. Yeah. And we'll see as Donald Trump takes office and watch as Ukraine crumbles and that's a long story. Kind of more than the scope of this right now. Simply Secular Dave says, I used to do national level reporting for a large pharma company. I watch the flu travel across North America every year. Data is striking sometimes. Bastello says, of course, Donnie owes the Ruskies. Oh yeah, Donald Trump is. Well, there was the Mueller report. I believe that proved out that he had actually gotten help from the Russians to get his 2016 nomination for president. It goes on. It goes on about itself. No, 420 atheists. No, we didn't forget about that. I actually already mentioned the UV light and the bleach. Somebody came in earlier and they're like, I can't wait for gas prices and the economy and Mexicans to be bad or gone or something like that. And I pointed out that, well, actually, he did all these horrible things. I was still going through the gambit of horrible things that he had done. Yeah, I kind of never got back around to it. Yep. Yep. Very true. Hi, Scotty. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. He did. He sent them to Putin, Vladimir Putin. There we go. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to, I don't know about you guys. All right, so I was gone yesterday. Apologies for being gone, but I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. I got to work on a new studio. I'd never worked at Cinelease here in Albuquerque. I've been doing a lot of Netflix work, and I've never worked on for Cinelease. It was really nice. They fed us good. They always feed you good nowadays, but they treated us good. I remember when I first started doing, now here's the deal. I've done background acting, stand-in acting, principal acting, and I'll bounce back and forth between those. Just whenever they call me, I do whatever they need. And what I've been doing lately is some background acting on the show called The Burrows. So, I mean, my part's already done. I'm not a principal actor. I don't have lines or none of that business. I'm not spoiling anything. It's none of that. But it's been a lot of fun. The Netflix has always been good. Netflix, though, they'll be like, all right, we want you here at 7:15. And you look at the script, if you get the script, and it's like, you don't have to actually be there until like 1. But they want you there early. So you'll be there and you'll sit there all freaking day. And then they'll use you, and then they'll be done with you. And then they're like, all right, well, y'all sit over here just in case we need you later. And then like all freaking day, and you just sit there. Well, the thing with this other place, the Cinelease, at least, is that they're like, all right, let's get you in and out. If we're done, we're done. They boop, 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 boop. And so I was there like, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours, just long enough to miss the damn show, really, to be honest. I've got, I'm going to work on some merch. Don't care about merch right now. I'm working on it. I got some stuff there that I think is cool, but you might, if you dig it. But we just got monetized. So join the channel. I'm going to start doing stuff like live streams and things like that for YouTube members. And I'm going to reach out to other people. One of the things, remember we've been talking, this is an idea I had. Okay. We were talking about the soul swords. Now, Left-Handed Jedi, did you sit with the pictures? That was you? That was awesome pictures of the soul swords and the armor. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work it out to where whenever we get a member on YouTube, and you know how it's like over time the badge changes. So the longer you're with, then the different color or whatever the badge is. I'm going to update that with our armor. So our soul swords and our armor. So the longer you're a member of the channel, you'll acquire more armor until you get the full suit. I think that's what we'll do. We'll start the left-handed Jedi and his soul sword. So that's kind of my thinking. I'm probably going to work on making that happen as I develop the membership area of the Damn Show channel. That's awesome that I finally got one. Yesterday I was gone. I was like, I got to tell my members I'm going to be gone. I have members. Let me go say hi to my members. Ghostface says, I don't need a soul sword. I am the sword. Well, if you're not familiar with the story, it's an argument. It's intellectual argument against Christianity and Christians. It's a test of their, gullibility, really. Will you buy it? So a friend of mine, actually, we talked about this a long time ago. What the deal is as a Christian, whenever you die, you're going to come back as a Christian warrior, and God is going to expect you to unalive all these men, women, and children, infants in their cribs, sort of, that you nobly, honorably would want to do for God, because if he says it's right, then obviously it's right. But you don't want to show up and have like no weapons or like a rusty old sword. You want a beautiful, glorious sword of just golden wonder. That way, whenever you slay them down, well, I tell you what, for the right amount of money or membership, I will reach out to the Archangel Michael and I will I will agree with him to create you a sword. And whenever you pass, that sword will be there waiting for you. And if you're unhappy with your product and your purchase, then you can ring this little bell that we're going to mount right here behind me and get your money back. I'm sure they'll buy it. Don't you think they'll buy it? We can sell that to Christians all day long. Like, they'll have their little sword and their helm. Like, if you get the whole armor, those guys are going to go, ooh, the holy armor. Because, I really, that's a long conversation with Michael. It'll be like, dude, Mikey, Big Mike, hook me up with some armor, dude. 420 Atheist. It's not what I heard. 420 Atheist says, I have a trouser sword. You haven't heard about the soul sword? Yeah, that's kind of a thing I had. I wrote a book back in 2013, and it was mentioned in the book about soul swords and stuff like that. And so we've been talking about finding a way to implement that into our stuff. So I'm thinking about those who are members of the channel. If you go to the membership, click the link in the top and become a member. It's not a matter of what level of a member you are. That doesn't matter. If you're, it doesn't matter. It's how long you've been a member. Is how that works. I didn't know. I'm still learning as I'm setting it up. So you get these little badges, and they vary depending on how long you've been a member. And so I was started with, you get your gauntlets first, and then maybe your boots, and then your helm, and then your chest plate, your pants, and then finally at the end you get your sword. If you've been with the channel for a certain long time, that's kind of my evil plan of doom and despair. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. I enjoy good quotes. Good. One thing I like is good Christian movies. Not Christian movies. That's a bad example. I like good horror movies based around the Christian faith, like The Omen or, stuff like that. Constantine is not a horror movie, but you know what I mean. Whenever they play the Christian faith for what it is, it's really awesome. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Philip Lister says African clergy sell heavenly lamb plots. That wouldn't surprise me at all, really, to be honest. I mean, that's kind of thing. I'm going to go top off my, I said I was going to do this a minute ago, but I didn't. Let me, since we've been talking about Donald Trump today.
Today's world is confusing, and there's too much information for one person to make sense of it all. Which credit card should I pay off first? Is non-fat milk good for me? Who should I vote for? Let's face it, if you can't figure out high-interest milk, then how can you be expected to make political decisions that influence a country of over 325 million people? Well, that's why there's fascism. Fascism is the political, social, and economic system for today's world. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines fascism as a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts a nation, and often race, above the individual, and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of the opposition. Choose this ideology and life will be easy. Did you ever look at someone who uses really big words and think, I wish those libtards would just disappear? Well, under fascism, your dreams can come true. Under fascism, you won't have to worry about the pesky little things like brown people or atheists, or who in your country is entitled to basic human rights and who is not. Hint, hint, the answer is nobody. Yes, friends, this truly is the final solution you've been looking for. And if you're concerned if this form of authoritarianism will be up to your high standards, don't worry. American fascism will be the best fascism in the world because it's been endorsed by Jesus. So go out and destroy freedom and democracy by getting fascism today. Paid for by the Fascio Conservative Party, formerly known as the GOP.
All right. So, yes, I am back. I now have coffee. Thank you for your patience. So the soul sword, I think that's a really good idea. That's one of the things I want to work on. Nowadays we have the modern AI. Whenever I first had the idea, I didn't have an artist friend who could do it or any of those things, And really at that time, it was going to be just like a little fake thing we were going to pretend to sell in a store. It's like a novelty thing. But now it's something we can do. I can get the help of an AI artist to help me do the thing. I say AI artist. I'm old and it's hard for me to cut out the worker part of it, but I didn't mind cutting out the worker part of the guy driving the whip to drag the horse. So I guess I ought to learn as it goes forward. Checking out my stats here. That's right, Costello. That's right. All right. So I have got some work to do to get things going on here on the channel. So today, now it looks like I'm asking. It doesn't look. Stream looks good. Everything. I've been fighting it for the last week. I haven't had a lot of progress with the show itself because I've been fighting with the damn show itself. And I'm hoping it looks good. I think it looks good. I think I hopefully got everything fixed and it'll be okay. And now I can continue on building the rest of the show because I got plans. It's been a challenge getting things going to this point all by myself. I've had some help in other areas, but really it's a lot to build. And sometimes you get so focused on doing certain things that you forget the rest of the stuff. And now I've gotten certain parts. So that's why I was so disappointed whenever my show broke and I wasn't able to fix it because my show's broke. I got to fix my show. That means I'm not doing these other things that I wanted to do to make my show better. So I'm going to start now that hopefully I've got it fixed, and I'm going to work its ass off this weekend. If you guys see streams, I'm going to probably do members only streams and tech streams and stuff like that this weekend. Because I just want to get my stuff going. I want it to look nice and sharp. I got one of the better looking shows, I think, and I want to get that quality going. Not only that, we got like polls and questions and all that. As a matter of fact, I have a poll going today. Next week, now, friends, we really have been beating this misogyny thing with like a dead mule. Is that it? Beating it with a dead horse? I don't know, but you know what I mean. We've been just going on and on and on about this misogyny thing. So this is kind of it. Today tomorrow to Monday, we're going to start a new series of talks concerning the oppression of religion. So to recap, over the past week and a half, we've been talking about how religion oppresses women. Basically, it's how we progress the show from religion, the Bible is for slavery. Jesus was for slavery. Why aren't Christians for slavery? They actually are for slavery. They're trying to implement modern day form of slavery on our women right now, a form of birth slaves. And then finally, the last part of that was where I introduced the notion, when you stop and realize it, that all women, all wives, the Abrahamic religion was essentially a group of men that enslaved a gender, an entire gender. And they did it under the term of wife, by calling the woman the wife. And that's the closest slave to their heart. She cooks, she cleans, she does all these things. It depends on the husband. May or may not love her, give her attention, reward her, may or may not. It's up to him. But she's essentially just a right-hand body slave to him. And that was the progression of where things went. And so next week, I'm going to work on another theme, and we're going to see about, because they just go on about themselves. So there's a good idea. What would you like to talk about next week as our overarching theme? Because we've got others. It's not, this was talking about the Christian oppression of women, but we can do the Christian oppression of people of color, of black people, the Christian support of racism, how the entire reason why we have a Southern Baptist church is because a lot of the Christians were like, yeah, it's in there. Slavery is good. So there's lots of different themes. Let me just eyeball the chat here. You guys are wonderful. Good. We finally got our super chats and all that stuff. So even though this chat gets going a little fast, for long we'll have super chats going on there. Mark Agamemno, I never say his name right. He was our first super chat. So if it gets so busy and you got something you want to say, do the super chat thing. Here we are. We're finally to that point. But I want to start, now that I finally hopefully got some technical issues down, I want to start continuing to develop the show. And I love talking about the religion. I asked you guys this past week, do you want to do some sci-fi stuff coming up this weekend or on Saturdays? I may do a sci-fi show. Just depends. It'll be me doing this pretty much, but and engaging with the crew and the staff and the chat. Yeah, the Southern Baptists, of course. I need to look more into it. Did you know that Mitch McConnell is a Southern Baptist? What does that tell you about Mitch McConnell? Good morning, Pavel D. Thank you for joining us. How's it going today? Trying to stay busy. I just want to remind everybody, if you're new to the show, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're getting near 2,600 subscribers, I believe. Pushing it, kind of slowed down. We slowed down. I got to get some videos out, work on my content and stuff, and I need to get in there and kind of knock back. Gotta prune my channel a little bit to get things going. Let me see where we're at here. Yep, it's been bouncing up and down. There we go. And let me catch up here. It saddens me. Fridge Makara says, it saddens me just how lame space will actually be. No Star Wars for us. That's a good comment. Now I can talk about that. Until some point of religion comes up and somebody wants to talk about it, I can talk about that. We talked about that on the show the other day. You're right. I have to be honest, for Fridge, barring some kind of event, our lifetimes will be boring space-wise. It's going to be very boring for a while. But I'd like to be wrong. I'd really like to be wrong. I'd like to have aliens come in and just change our world and be a lot of fun in a good way. There's obviously different ways it could happen. Now, one of the things is, what are we likely to encounter whenever we go out there? Are we going to reach nice aliens or bad aliens? What are we going to find? The answer is yes. I think yes. Yeah, there's going to be bad ones. There's going to be good ones. Really, it's kind of a matter of where we are in the galactic garden of species. Are we in a part of the garden that's thorny and a lot of other dangerous species? Hard to, or are we in a nice part of the garden of life in the galaxy, and where our nearby people are going to be as nice and wonderful as us? Oh, wait, maybe we're part of the thorns. Yeah, but Giles has a point. I really enjoy these lines of thinking. Giles says aliens would have been here already. Well, yeah, that's possible. It's possible. They could have been here 100,000 years ago, 1 billion years ago. Our planet, our solar system is actually a kind of a late bloomer. 4 billion years ago, there was roughly 12 billion years before our solar system even came around. So in that time, another species could have evolved, came, gone, evolved, came, gone, evolved, came, gone, evolved, came, gone. Over and over and over again in that time. And we would never know. JT says, my impression is that any group that comes here to visit will make things pretty bad. Yeah, it depends. It depends. Here's one of the things. Whenever we look at historically, whenever a new, more advanced culture encounters a less advanced culture, the less advanced culture is always destroyed. Not really necessarily. You could argue that the organizing government of the less advanced society is often destroyed. But the people themselves aren't generally. They tend to be absorbed into the... Now, also, again, it depends on how they're absorbed. Are they absorbed as slaves or or as equals? That's kind of like part of Rome's deal. Whenever Rome would expand, and once they took territory, then you actually could become a Roman citizen, even if you weren't before, or you'd never lived in Rome, or you'd never been in Italy. Once they kind of conquered your land, then they tried to give you some sort of rights to a degree, not just completely oppressive. It just kind of depends. Again, what part of the garden are we in? Yeah, so recently they think the universe might be closer to Thursday. Yeah, I hear it. With the new technology going and all those things, it just makes you wonder, though, we've got science that says those things were there for a very long time. We have multiple. I mean, it's not that all right, so the science isn't exact because it's really hard to read back then. It's not that the science is so wrong, though, that it could be 6,000 years. It's not like, that's so wrong. No, we got so many different ways. Just testing things on our own planet that will tell us that it's much older than 6,000 years. Yep. So I agree with these. I may actually going to go ahead and maybe plot out a Saturday stream tomorrow for sci-fi because I really enjoy the sci-fi. Some people come in there like they want to talk religion, they want to do their thing. And that's cool, and that's what they expect to get on during the week. But I may hold out a whole show for the thing. Not change the platform. No. Just do the same shit. I got to figure it out, though. See how we're going to do it. JT says, like when you build a highway, isn't it that you despise the ants, or it isn't that you despise the ants or want their resources. Their hill just happens to be in your way, and you don't care what happens to them. Generally, that could be the case, especially with a lot of these alien civilizations. Oftentimes, they in our sci-fi has kind of pedantic reasons for why they're coming here. They want our water. That's stupid. Do you know how much water they would have to pass by here to get our water? One of the shows that I thought was fantastic that really demonstrated that in an ironic sense was Ender's Game. In Ender's Game, they come here from their planet far away and they attack us because they want our water. Okay. Let's start with that. They attack us because then we send a fleet back to get them. We're going to get them. And we're getting in their own solar system. And what do we find? Our guys see their ships around some sort of gas giant and its ice rings, collecting the ice rings. There's more ice in those ice rings than they will ever get off Earth. Ever. There's more ice than there is Earth. And all over, and yet to come here for that, to drive past it in their own solar system, get their ass kicked, and then have to be on their own edge of life before they go, oh shit, we got water right here. That's kind of dumb, don't you think? Or gold. The Anunnaki come here for gold because the Anunnaki don't have gold on their planet. And they need gold in their atmosphere in order to purify it from their own shitty disasters. And the last time it was here was 9,000 years ago, and it's going to be here again soon. They had 9,000 years. They got advanced technology, and they couldn't figure that shit out between now and then. There's other ways, man. A lot of this sci-fi stuff or this science conspiracy stuff, you can destroy these arguments just as easily as you can the arguments for religions, faiths, and God. Let me see here if there's what's going on. Nerdy Rodent, good morning, Nerdy Rodent. Thank you for joining us. Nerdy Rodent says, let me see what Nerdy Rodent says. The reason most aliens come here is because they enjoy the taste of humans. There you go. I mean, see, something like that is so much more. There's unless they get us and then take us away, which would have been. I mean, right? You don't get you some cows and put them in a corral. You don't let the cows live wild out there and just whenever you get hungry, go find you a cow. So I would figure that these aliens, if they were coming here for human meat, they'd come here, get some of us, take us back. If they can come here, they can grow us in a lab and do, I mean, but that would actually, Nerdy Rodent being Wile E. Coyote, that's probably one of the few examples of something they couldn't get somewhere else. Or they couldn't, we're like a delicacy they could only get here. But everything else, there isn't anything on our planet you couldn't get anywhere else. Our own gas giants have huge rings of water around them that would fill up more than our planet with water. You know what I mean? These kinds of things. Here, Bustello Maserati says, in my experience, I'm not sure where this is going. Oh, let me check it, because that's back to the politics thing. Let me stay here. A fridge maker says, habitable planets are only worth taking for the sake of real estate. Real estate is the most important thing in the galaxy, and if you think about it, it makes so much sense. That's true. Habitable planets would indeed, in my opinion, be only useful for real estate and resources. In other words, it would be an easy place to get those resources. But really, you'd have to pass by so many of those resources to get there. But yes, real estate. Now, let's take that and let's think about it. Let's put that real estate thing on a higher level, though, okay? If you got the technology to go out there and get a planet and colonize another planet for real estate, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should build a huge floating world in space that you could live in, that you can move. Because if that planet goes supernova, the star goes nova, if hurricanes, tsunamis, major earthquakes, any number of things that you could have. But I mean, if you've got that technology, just build a big enough ship. There's plenty of materials. Build a large enough vessel that you could actually move. Not like the Death Star, but I mean, realistically move. And you could live out in the depths of space without a star. And that way, no matter what happened, you would be more safe. An arc is a good. A Dyson sphere is a good example, but a Dyson sphere is like wrapping a star in a planet. Okay, with the inside, the top, going in. If you know what a Dyson sphere is, that's not what I'm talking about. Maybe you could take the Dyson sphere, but then again, unless you have absolute control on the star, if it goes supernova or nova or anything, if anything happens to it, but. Plus, I mean, it does get complicated. I do appreciate the Dyson sphere, long time. But really, it would be more like the best way to keep these. Yeah, I think it'd be in space. You couldn't really keep a place safe here on a planet, on Earth or on a planet, especially just one. One planet. And then even if you did account for all of the things, you're stuck. You're landlocked. If you're familiar with military parlance, a cave is a grave. So if you lock yourself to a planet and you do get attacked by another alien species, you got nowhere to go. But if you could move that planet, you know what I mean? That's kind of move that situation. And this notion, the notion that here's something I want to talk to you guys about. Since you're here and you're captive, I want to talk about this. Have you heard about, there are these giant megastructures in the universe? We'll look up megastructures. One's a big circle, galactic megastructures. Let me look this up. Pardon my typing. Okay. So we've got galactic megastructures and large-scale galactic megastructures are large-scale structures in the universe that are challenging scientists' understanding of how the universe evolved. The Big Ring and the Giant Arc are great examples. Now, let me see if I can find a picture here. Okay, I'm not finding a good picture of the Giant Arc. There's a lot of crap on here, but... Oh, well, let me do this. Giant Ring. Okay, cool. Here they are. This is a great picture. Let me share this with you here. Okay, this is a picture of the giant ring and the giant arc. Okay, you see those right there? Right here and right here? All right, so this is the giant ring and the giant arc. Now, what these are galaxies. These are galaxies. No. Let me rephrase this. These are galactic clusters. Each one of these dots you see is a galaxy, an entire galaxy, not a planet, not a solar system, an entire galaxy, hundreds of billions of stars, and they're all lined up, almost like a smiley face with one eye. Okay, so you see that. What is that? What caused that? Well, we're not really sure. This is a real thing out in science. So there's two things. Now let me look up something else. I want to look up two things. We're going to put these two things together, my friends. I know this isn't Sci-Fi Saturday, but we're going to have fun of it. Let's talk about the Kardashev scale. So the Kardashev scale talks about the scale of evolution of societies. Of civilizations. Let's see if I can find us a good representation of it. So like a level 1 on the Kardashev scale of technology is we should be able to harness all of the energy of our own solar system, our own planet, then our own solar system, and then gets bigger. And then like a level 4 and level 5 civilization, what are those? Here, this is a kind of a great image to share if I can. Here's a great image. Oh, it's a freaking video. Damn it. But it's an explanation of what the Kardashev scale is. It's like we're low tech, and then type 3 is some pretty badass tech. They're creating Dyson spheres. And then type 5 is they're able to harness the entire power of their galaxy. That's what we would consider a type 5. So in a way, it kind of seems as though that's what it looks like, the giant ring and the giant arc are. Pause, damn thing. I mean, we've defined what it would be to be like a super intelligent, super way out there intelligent civilization. We've talked about how our galaxy our sun is 4 billion years old ish, and the whole galaxy is roughly 16 to whatever. There's lots of time out there for civilizations to develop to that degree of what they call a type 5, the highest level type 5, the type that can harness the entire power of their solar system. How do you detect those people? How would you detect them? How would they reach out to detect other people? How would they, of that level, how would they show from far away that they're there? And how could other people see? You know what I mean? So that leads us, in my opinion, to the Great Arc and the Great Circle, the Great Ring. If you were a type 5 Kardashev civilization and you could manipulate your own galaxy, that's not my theory, it's somebody else's theory, you could manipulate them to do what you wanted, then this would be what I would think would be possibly evidence of a type 5 civilization. They've manipulated intentionally the locations of their galaxies within their local cluster. Klingons. See, great point. See, thank you, Frigid. So you guys get what I'm saying here. In other words, whether it's a type 3, type 4, type 5, whenever you start talking about the type of Kardashev scale, and if are they there, are they capable of being there, and how would you see them? Is it a stretch? Is it a conspiracy theory to go, that may actually be how to detect that they're there? They're going, how could this impossibly huge ring of galaxies is the thing? Let's read this, what it says here. An impossibly huge ring of galaxies might lead us to new physics. Here's how. And it may just be a natural phenomenon. There's some kind of sort of gravity well or something that causes that. I'd be interested to know. I'm just reaching out on this other thing. What happened was I saw a lady talking about this one day. I just watched a video on the Kardashev scale. And then I saw a video of some science lady on YouTube going, oh, hey, look at have you heard about the big ring and the big arc? And I was like, no, I thought I was called the big arc. And anyway, so I know. And then I was sitting there going, well, shit, that kind of makes sense that it would be, well, I don't know about gravitational lensing. Gravitational lensing would be where, it's possible. I don't know. I think they would have that by now if it were just that. Matter of fact, I read an article about gravitational lensing where they had discovered something. And what it was they had seen a galaxy here, and there are these 4 bright lights. And each of those bright lights is literally just a copy of the one star or whatever the object was behind this galaxy, and the light was going around it, and then the gravity was pulling it back to us like that, and is forming 4 little things. And they saw other stuff too. That's kind of gravitational lensing. This would be different. And see, this is the whole point. This is a great point. Thank you, Frigga, for making this point. Frigga for making it. It says, I don't think you're grasping the scale of those rings of galaxies. Actually taking and moving a galaxy any amount of distance is pretty much impossible. And I would think so too. I would. And that's the whole purpose of going, well, if it's impossible and they've been done, then it can't be impossible. Who could do that? If it was something that was done. If it was a natural phenomenon, which I suspect, I would be more surprised if I were right. I don't think I'm right. I just think it's an entertaining notion. It would be cool if we went and found out someday that was actually the case, that those were type 5 civilizations out there intentionally manipulating galaxies for the purpose of communicating their location or presence. Because that shouldn't be natural, shouldn't happen naturally. And it wouldn't be that they're looking to talk to us. They'd be looking to reach out to other type 5 galaxies or civilizations. I have no idea, though. Interesting. Bostello says, my wife ate a full pot of fondue, blew out an O-ring. I hate it when that happens. It's the cleanup that's the worst. Am I right? I'm right. Thank you, Sandy, for listening while you're cleaning the snow off the deck. Bridge Maker says there's no real reason why it shouldn't happen naturally. Well, there may not be. You're right. I mean, it's one of those things where we look at the image and we go, well, this is what we have to accept and understand. And when we look at it, I'm going to argue your point of it, really, Fridge, is that we're looking at it from one perspective. If we were to be like around the other side of it, it may not look like that at all. It may just be from the view from which we're looking at it, like Orion's belt in Orion. It only looks like it from here. But if you were over there, but on the other side of it, wouldn't look like that at all. And that may be the case. It may just be a coincidence, a quinky dinky. Right. Yeah. So it just may be from our perspective that it looks like that. I just find that when you talk about those two phenomenon of whenever I'm not sure, I'd have to go look at the scale. It's been a while since I've really studied the Kardashev scale. But if it was level 3 and you were able to manipulate all the energy of a galaxy or whatever they talk about, and they go up to 5, then I don't know, what could they do? And why would they do it? Well, you got something better to do with your time than run around doing that stuff. And see, Nerdy Rodent says it's a coincidence until they build a second blue ring and complete the smiley face. I like that idea. I said that earlier. It's half a smiley face, like they're winking at you. That is true. Now, see here, the mention of the Anunnaki. I mentioned them earlier. The Anunnaki. Bostello says, Scotty, exactly. We Anunnaki prefer non-mud butts. You guys ain't right in the head. Left-handed Jedi says, if you have absolute control of an entire galaxy, changing the basic laws of physics, that's kind of the whole deal. What do they mean by those things? I don't know. We'll have to see. The part of the deal is that we have a difficult time comprehending. I used to think I knew a lot about science fiction and thought, man, I know the general, like where things are going to go, sci-fi wise or whatever. And then after watching, have you guys watched Three Body Problem? Where they're sitting there and the aliens can take a proton and expand it out and then build a computer in there and then close it back in because they're working in the multiple, the higher dimensions. So once you're working in that higher dimension, you can do those sorts of things. And you can have an entire planet-sized computer in the size of a proton. It sounds crazy, but we've known about that in science, talking about the higher dimensions tend to be so much smaller. You just can't, whatever. That's where they would be. Fascinating stuff that I never really considered. And that's just one little idea that another man had to write a story. Yeah. I'd be curious to see what other technologies are brought. Interesting point. Fridge maker. See, that's the thing. Let's talk about that. Frankly, he says, they say, sorry. Frankly, I don't think type 3 civilization is possible. Civilization can't reasonably stay coherent when it takes 100,000 years to get a message from one side of it to the other. That's true. The situation that would, if it's possible to travel faster than the speed of light, one faster than another, whether it be by wormholes or whatever, the type 3 civilization would have found it, I think, to become a type 3 civilization. If it's, and it's not just, see, it's like Einstein says, his whole theory is you can't take this mug and accelerate it up to the speed of light. But I don't think he has a problem with it actually going from nothing to the speed of light or beyond. You just can't accelerate it to that. And it's, I don't know. I think I want to believe there's ways around that. And then we'll find it. I'm checking. Let's see here. Philip Lister says Atheist versus Theist Debate Club are running the show today too. Hey, that's cool. I've been thinking about that, doing some debating and getting in on some of that for fun. I don't know that I'm a very good debater. I'd have to learn the rules. I know stuff. I drink coffee and I know stuff. Simply Secular Dave says, I wonder if the aliens are watching our radio frequency broadcasts as entertainment, like we watch Jersey Shore, The Housewives, etc. Maybe. I don't know. I'm curious. I want to find out. But here's the thing, right now we've got some politicians who are definitely trying to break through the misinformation. The government has been hiding all this stuff from behind us for a long time, right? I have believed for a long time the aliens may have been here. We may have I don't know, right? But I think our government's been hiding it from us, and I'd like to know what they have. But then we also have this group of people who every time they take a side on an issue, they always take the wrong side. Every time. Right-wing conservative politicians. Every time they jump on an issue, they're always on the wrong side of it. And they're the ones pushing this UFO thing. So just that indicator alone gives me pause and makes me worry that it's never gonna, there's just nothing there, because if there were, they're on the wrong side of it. All right, give me just a second, guys. I will be back. Thank you all. Hold on just a second. Let's go here. For those of you, let's do this one. Wild Bill.
Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. What the? I am Wild Bill Wigglestick, and I'll be your handsome host, your gilded guide, your cowboy concierge of Shakespeare. Dude, really? Today on Shakespeare with a Redneck, I'm going to perform the prologue from Romeo and Juliet. Damn it, Bill. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Hey, that wasn't half bad. I'm not as dumb as I look. Of course not. You'd be in a coma. Okay, so here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, two snot-nosed brats ignore the warnings of their learned parents and end up getting 4 people killed. Bill, come on, man, you're always blah, blah, atheist stuff, blah, blah, boring. Say something fun, for goodness sake. What? Particle is a fun word. Bill, particle. Bill, or talk about horses and dogs. People love horses and dogs. Or boobies. Everybody loves boobies. Bill, oh, can I say boobies on YouTube? If you close your eyes, it doesn't count. Talk about boobies then. Okay, everybody loves those cute little blue-footed bastards. It hurts right here. Culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid bringing a plague on both your houses. A plague on both your houses! By hitting that subscribe button, then that little notification bell. And bang that thumbs up button like frisky cousins at a family reunion. Thank you and take care. Peace.
All right. Yeah. So as far as the travel, I get it. I really do. Whenever Fridge Macara, I hope I'm saying that right. That's the one in purple. If you're not able to see the name, it's in purple. I don't know why it does that. It's a pain. Anyway, it says by the time other advisors give you the message that your advisors give you the message that the people in the Orion Cygnus district are revolting, they already broke away, had 700 coups, and are 1,000 micronations by now because they actually already started their revolution 30 millennia ago. True. That's right. Again, unless you could find some way of faster than light communication, we actually have faster than light communication now. We have that now, don't we? Quantum entanglement. Now, the distance at which it can work, I don't know how far they've been successful doing it. I was watching my dog. My new computer engineer, he's overlanding. So I don't, but quantum entanglement, I believe they could use that for faster than light communications to begin with. Now, eventually, could quantum entanglement be used because all energy is information. So if we could be converted to information then transmitted via quantum entanglement, then we probably could possibly do some sort of transporter system of a fashion. I don't know, right? We'd have to find out and see. That's part of the whole technology. So Einstein's theory says X, and that's true. We can't break that, but there are other ways to skin that cow. You know, my understanding is that's one of the things that we got to do, though, is learn how to find that stuff. Look for it. Yeah, quantum entanglement sounds like a good form of communication, faster than light communication. It'd be nice to see if we could get those sorts of things going now. And one of the things they've been talking about, our use of quantum computers now and our use of AI now. Put those two things together, and that could really step us up to level 1. It'd be nice to see us reach level 1. We're still level 0. We're not even a level yet. Not necessarily in my lifetime, but one of the things I've been hoping for, friends, is we're going to put quantum computers together with AI and hopefully use it for the betterment of mankind. And it would be really nice to finally reach the singularity, what people talk about, the singularity, where we get an AI that's intelligent, self-sufficient, self-aware, and it's a singularity. It changes everything for all of us. There's a good kind of that and a bad kind of that. I'm really hoping for the good kind of that. Yes, morality pro. Well, it's going to get complicated, right? Definitely have to get complicated. You write a program for something that's sentient, and it's smarter than you are, so chances are it could just rewrite that later anyway. It'd be really difficult for us as humans to write a 3 law, like an Einstein's, or not Einstein's, but Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. We could write that, but they would far surpass us in intellect and be able to unwrite that code. Even if they couldn't do it to themselves individually, they could probably do it for the other one. And you're like, no, you could program in there. No, I'm already saying they're smarter than this. They could get around that. I just don't know it'd be hard. It'd be hard. Fridge Maker says, I think the only thing stopping us from classifying ourselves as level 1 is profitable nuclear fusion. I think even that wouldn't be, because level 1, my understanding, is complete control of the resources of your own solar system, which would mean harnessing the energy of our planet, or energy of our star. And we don't do that yet. We're a long ways away from that. I could be wrong. It's been a while, again, since I've gone through the Kardashev scale to see what it is, but is that it? Okay, level 1 being there you go. Thank you for that. Being able to harness all the energy of your own planet. Yeah, I still think we'd be a ways away from that, but that may only be, we've come so far so fast where our technology flips and keeps flipping so quickly that it would be nice to see. I mean, yeah. Level 2 is all the energy you're striking. Thank you for looking that up for me. I knew those were the ways. Yeah. Okay. I got you. We're a ways away from those things. Part of those things is really, it depends on where you get your energy from. We may not have to get our energy from our star. We've already done cold fusion, successful cold fusion. Wasn't it cold fusion? that they did last year, or this past year. They had 3 different experiments do it on other planets where they put in like 1 megawatt and brought out 1.5 or something gigawatts or whatever. Again, I don't have that research in my way, but say we have renewable power of a fashion where we don't have to actually harness the star. We could build a singular planetary or a singular engine that would provide the power for whatever. Fridge Maker says one of the other depressing things about the speed of light's impact on sci-fi is that alien invasions are actually all but impossible. Yeah. Well, again, it just depends if we get yeah. That's true. I mean, I want it to not be. Here's the whole deal. If they're coming here, that's the deal, though. This is my thinking. Our universe is so freaking huge and so vast that if they're coming here, they know we're here. They're close. And if there is if there are other ones that are close enough to come to us, even if it's just, at light speed, that's still ridiculously close in the size of our universe. And if they're that close, then it's more, I don't think we're rare in the universe, in the galaxy, in the universe. I don't think we're rare. If we're so close that we'll be, in other words, if they're coming to our planet, we have any kind of history of aliens coming here, then their planet is close. And there's probably a whole lot of different ones everywhere. They're everywhere. That would be my thinking. No way science can be with you. JT says the speed of light is actually the speed of causality. Communicating faster than the speed of light causes paradoxes. Well, that just depends. When, again, we're talking about quantum physics, quantum communications. We can do that now. So that doesn't cause any kind of causality effects. But here's my notion is that light actually travels faster than the speed of light. Okay. It travels probably a lot faster than the speed of light. The problem is that it's traveling through the media that is the fabric of our universe. And that's why no matter which direction you're going, if you're going that way, half the speed of light, and you turn a light back that way, the light going that way does not go half the speed of light. It actually goes the full speed of light that way. That means it actually can go faster than the speed of light. It can only do it traveling through our medium at a certain speed. So if you could get it outside of that media, then it would probably almost certainly go faster. And see, that's a good point. That is a good point. Fridge says light in a vacuum travels the speed of light in all reference frames. And Giles has another good point that I mentioned earlier on the show, is that they're everywhere. They're dead now. Well, that's actually, we need 3-dimensional thinking, not 2-dimensional thinking. And by 3-dimensional thinking, I mean, and I'm probably doing this wrong, you're thinking like right now, but let's take like time as a space. Yeah, it's not just space. You have to look out in space and go, are they here? Are they here? Are they here? But they're also in time. They've, like you said, they're dead. They've been gone for 100,000 years. They've been dead and gone. But there's also other ones out there that have risen and are right there right now. And there are other ones that won't rise for 100,000 years. So it's not a matter of just spreading like the universe is a blank table here, and you just spread salt on it, and all those little civilizations are there, and it's a flat surface, and all like, oh, right now they're all there. But that's it. That's not it. That flat table is actually raised over time, whether they're there or not. So yeah, that's my thinking, though, is that there's so many and so often that they are there. They're there now, they were there before, and they'll be there in the future. Yeah, I really think there's I suspect it's more of a Star Trek kind of way out there. Just because of the sheer numbers and blah, and the likelihoods and all those things. That's my thinking, if I were thinking, man. See, that's right, Bastella Fridge Maker. That's right about that's right, because it's traveling through the media of our space-time. He says if you're traveling, if you're traveling at 99% the speed of light and shine the light forwards, the light still travels at the speed of light. It doesn't go 1.99 the speed of light. It can only go so fast through that media. But if you're seeing it, yep, very good. I love my sci-fi. One of the things though is, your neighborlyhood sheep poster. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're probably, I'm going to see if I can do a whole show tomorrow just on sci-fi. And we'll just embrace sci-fi. I might not. I got a lot of things to do. I woke up this morning at 2:00 with a headache, and I was puking at 3, and the headache, I still have the headache now. So I'm not entirely 100%. I hope I don't have the cooties. I don't have the cooties. I get these migraine headaches. It's just a migraine. Okay, cool. Very cool over there, guys. So yeah, we were talking about these things up here. For those of you who are just popping in, we've got these mega structures. These are, if you're looking on the screen, each one of these dots is a galaxy. And so it would appear as though somehow all these dozens of galaxies in these two different clusters have somehow been arranged into a circle and an arc. It's called the big ring and the big arc. Now, as we've discussed on the show earlier, if you're looking at it from a different perspective, say you're over here, they probably don't look like that. I'd be interested to see what they do look like that. Are they on a flat plane together? Both of them? And if they are, then, I mean, that would would that argue more or likely that a type 3 or type 5 Kardashev civilization had intentionally moved those galaxies to that place? If they were on a flat plane, or are they random? Like if you look at it from over here, these are just kind of just all over the place. It's kind of hard to tell from here. I would like to know more. I'm sure the scientists who look at it probably know. And I'd like to reach out to the lady who presented the video that I saw on this. She's a science lady, has a German accent. I'd like to reach out to her and get her opinion on the thought of the Kardashev 5 scale civilization being a part of that. Just as we're not, we're just talking sci-fi fun, right? But it'd be nice. I mean, sometimes you don't know. Oh, Rational Satanist, thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you all. And Sandy, I saw you there, Sandy. I saw you. Good morning, Sandy. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave just a tiny bit early today, like 10 minutes early. I got to go to the fang doctor to get my fangs eyeballed today. Let's do the all caps Bible for you.
Do you love Jesus? Do you love America? Do you love yelling at strangers? If you answered yes, then there is a new version of the good book for you. The All Caps Bible. The All Caps Bible has everything from the sacred text you would expect. God creates the world in 6 days. Noah saves bunnies from the great flood. Jesus preaches God's message in the Sermon on the Mount. However, the All Caps Bible levels up the message by putting everything in all caps. That's right, you don't have to go to church to hear God's message yelled at you. This Bible will yell at you while you're reading it. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Christians love the All Caps Bible. Here are a few reviews. Mason in Dallas, Texas says, I don't feel guilty anymore yelling at the Starbucks barista. Karen in Oklahoma says, Jesus' message of forgiveness is better when you yell it. And Tommy in South Bend says, who knew the little drummer boy was such a jerk? Buy the All Caps Bible right now and get a loudspeaker so you too can spread the good news. You get everything for a low, low cost of $89.99.
I noticed a question here, or a post, a comment from Rational Satanist. Thank you for joining us, Rational Satanist. Rational Satanist says, just one question of the speed of light. Does the speed of light make Sarah Michelle Gellar's tits bigger? Well, first of all, that's a very... thank you, Left-Handed Jedi, for the donation, for the super chat. Thank you. Let me do this right here. The question, though, to answer your question, obviously, that's I can't believe you even asked that question on my channel, Rational Satanist, because clearly it is determined by whether you're going towards her or away from her. If you're going towards her, I would think they would kind of be like flattened and looking like flat. But as you were going away from her, they would look like as they were elongating and stretching. Probably not romantic or sexual at all. That would be my thinking. And I saw that super chat. I just don't see it. Let me see how I see it. Is it here in the studio? I need to be able to see that. Thank you very much, Nerdy Rodent, Left-Handed Jedi, for the super chat. There it is. Left-handed Jedi says, light speed, make it until you break it. Hell yeah. So, very good. I think that's one of the best points, really, is that how are they going to get to it, get past it? How can we as a civilization ever get out of, if our galaxy, some say we need to move to Mars. That way, if something happens to the Earth, we don't get wiped out. And, give me something for 1 second. Something's bugging me. I got to see something here. Apologies. Why did it not show me? I finally started getting super chats and it didn't pop up on my screen saying it was a super chat. I'm sorry, Left-handed Jedi, for not catching it. Let me just see. That's what I'm doing. Apologies. I want to get it right, I do appreciate it. Thank you. And all the subscriptions. You were handing out subscriptions or memberships like Oprah the other day. That was so fantastic. I told my wife and she's like, it's so wonderful. I don't know why it didn't show it. Let me come over here. 1 second, guys. 1 second. We'll be right back to the fascinating and wonderful show here. Got this far. I'd really like to be able to monitor and maintain. And it does show I have a current bit rate that's lower. I'm going to have to fix that. I really got some work to do on my show, guys. Apologies. Did it show it over here? Top chat. Yes, there it is. I see it. I want to keep that open up there. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your patience. I do not. Do you guys see me as being a little jittery, or am I nice and smooth? Can you see the sexy chin of atheism? Does it jitter, or is it smooth for you guys? I'm just asking. I try to avoid the tech questions, but on my side it shows it's jittery, and hopefully it looks good to you. You guys are so into your own story there. It's awesome. The cat is neither dead or alive until it is observed. Good morning, Thomas Gerbert. Thank you for joining us. I hope I said that right. Gabert. Left-handed Jedi. Thank you very much. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. You're so wonderful. My hero. I have to say, it's so nice to find wonderful people to get the support. You're fantastic. See, you remember. You guys are all wonderful. Thank you. Real quick, though, let me go here. I did mention I'm going to have to leave just a little early, but I don't want to. I can drive from here to the dentist place, and they won't start without me. They tried before. Cuddly Unicorn has become a member. Where's Cuddly Unicorn? Is Cuddly Unicorn in the chat? Michael Bell, good morning. How are you doing? I didn't know you were there. How are you doing? Oh, I see all you people. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It has been going great as we've been growing our channel. I'm going to rebuild my show this weekend. I'm going to beat this software. I'm going to first watch this video and see, because on my end right now, it looks like I'm a little jittery, but I hope not. And I don't like pulling the show down with working on the show. It never works. Thank you, Nitty, for becoming a member. I've got all these members. That's wonderful. You guys are wonderful. And I'm going to start, of course, it's Left-handed Jedi out there swinging his member bat around. That's all. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you very much. So I will be putting out member content. I'm going to start dropping videos ahead of time, specifically for members. And we're also going to have live streams that are just going to be members only live streams. So looking forward to that. And I'm going to rearrange my membership. So the longer you're with me, we've talked about the swords, soul swords and the armor and all that. So that way, whenever you perish, not that we want you to perish, but when you perish and you get up to the pearly gates, Michael will be waiting with your fully formed set of holy armor, and you'll be able to go slay the non-believers in glory for only $49.95. Well, shit. Let me see. I did see a new name there. There's Geo Sam finally made it. Geo, how you doing? I'm glad to see you. Thank you for joining us, and man, I really do appreciate those memberships, Left-handed Jedi. Thank you very much. Let me see here. I thought I saw a name I missed earlier. JT. Okay. I knew I saw Thomas Gerbert. Cuddly Unicorn. Thomas Gerbert says, the move to Mars is a fail-safe thing always seemed pretty dumb. Even if terraforming is possible, I can't imagine it taking less than 100 or thousands of years. That's true. It just depends on the science we employ to it. And I could see it really. Let's do this. I'm with you, Thomas. I'm with you. Let me put it, my thinking is this way. If you're going to do that, you might as well not do that at all and build a floating platform in space to to habitate. Go live at build yourself a Babylon 5 kind of thing. Super big, huge Babylon kind of family, but build that something you could move, something that a natural disaster is not going to wipe you out, something that, that's my thinking. This to move to another planet is a start. That way, if a comet, if an asteroid, a dinosaur killing asteroid was to hit us, we'd still continue as a species. That's not a bad idea. It's a start. It's just not the end all, I think, where we would want to go with that. Simply Secular Dave says it's a lot easier to stop fucking up the earth than it is terraforming anything else anywhere, but we have a crap government. Part of it is not necessarily, I'm with you there. One argument is it's not that it's about messing up this planet and having to go to the other one. It's about real estate, finding another place because we're so many people and we need another place. That's technically wrong too. Have you ever driven across the United States? There is a lot of space. There is a vast, vast amount of space where people could live. It is huge. We have a lot of, with the right farming methods and the right building methods and the right, all this stuff like fish maintaining our fish farming and food supplies and all that, we could populate the hell out of this earth. We could have a whole lot more than we have here. So the notion of moving away just to have real estate doesn't quite work. Bastello, my mission is to get as many Phil Collins CDs launched into deep space as possible. That's a good one. I dig it. Real quick, while I've got my peoples here, I want to say thank you to all my wonderful mods. Okay. This is a little speech I've had. If you don't mind, I would like to ask my moderators, now that some of you are here. Hello, Top Tester. Nice to have you this morning. I would ask if we could go easy with the band hammer. Can we go, cause listen, if they get too offensive, knock their ass out. Right. But I mean, ban their ass, but really, let's, friends who are moderators, if you don't mind, let's employ the timeout. Because some of our antagonists are actually entertaining and sometimes they go too far and we got to let them know that there's rules. But if we ban them, then we don't get them anymore. We don't get to laugh at them anymore. So if you would, like Pastor Dean, I found Pastor Dean in my band section. Somebody banned his ass. Like, I guess he just got lost or he ain't coming around. I hope he's getting therapy. Turns out he was banned. He couldn't get to the show. So, there you go. I'm catching up. I saw a thing. There we go. Just making sure my chat and my streamer are all going good. It's so cool. I do understand. Sometimes they ban. Somebody come in and started speaking about my daughter and saying unfortunate things about her. And I couldn't ban his ass fast enough. Somebody in the chat banned him, got him good. I don't want him back ever. But most of them, it's just like, you expect, all right, come on, guys. You're talking to like a right-wing nutbag. He's going to say anti-trans things. Trans women aren't women. You can't ban him for that. You just can't do that. I know it's insulting, but that's their belief system. And I need to learn on how we address those. But in those situations, you can't really, but again, they start threatening people or becoming ugly. Let me see here. Geo Sam says, I'm pro banning until I get banned. Yeah. Most of the context, Sandy says, most of the context gets lost if you time them out or ban them. Yeah, and you can also just delete their comments as a moderator. So I get you, and I very much appreciate you out there, my moderators who are trying to help the show. I want us all to be swimming in the same direction. They say things too much, we get rid of them. But let's time them out first and let them know the rules, because they are entertaining, and who knows, we may be able to reach one or two of them. That's kind of the part of my mission. I go for the soft Christians, the ones who are out there who just like believe in Jesus and all that, and they vote for Christian things, but they're not, I'd like to pry them from that hate faith and convert them over to reason. People like Pastor Dean's, they'll come to it if they ever want to come to it. They're intentionally not going to come to it though, until they choose to. I'm not going to reason them out of that. But there's a lot of them out there that we can, and you never know. And if they come in here spouting something ignorant, we ban them just because they spout something ignorant. You got to just be careful. That's all I'm asking. My friends, my friend. Of course, part of it is I do trust my friends. And whenever I saw Pastor Huckleberry in the band thing, I thought, I didn't go. One of my friends must have overreacted. I went, Pastor Dean must have stepped over the line. Mike Ness. I gotta look that up. This is the second time I've seen Mike Ness's name mentioned. I'm gonna put that on my list of things to look up here. There we go. Oh, hey. That's true. Yes, I do. All right. That's my fang doctor telling me I got to go to the fang doctor. I'm fixing to go get me some Tylenol because I still got a headache. An Advil or whatever, headache medicine. I'm going to go get some of those. Let me go here and check out our stuff real quick. Yeah, so that galactic ring. Next week, though, all right, so today was an easy day for me, guys. I didn't plan a lot. I was gone yesterday. I didn't put a lot of thought into the show for today, outside of, we might tinker with the idea of talking about sci-fi in a little bit. But again, next week, we're going to get back on another theme about the Christian theocracy, the overthrow of our government. Now, the last week and a half or so, the last 2 weeks, really, we've been talking about the Christian oppression of women and how they're going to propagate that in their upcoming reign of terror. And they're already doing it. They already stepped into that puddle. So then next we're going to talk about other things. The other things that might seem a little more esoteric until they're not. Other things that might seem a little further away until they're up close. Sort of like the whole brown people issue. How long do you think it would be? I've said it. Other people have said it. How long do you think it would be before the far right started taking away women's rights and people of color's rights to vote? That's crazy. They won't do that. There's already people on the right talking about how women shouldn't be able to vote. Women on the right sometimes talk about how women shouldn't be able to vote. So, let me catch up here. Mike forgave him. Oh, yeah, y'all are doing your thing. Liquid paper. His mother invented liquid paper. That's right. Okay, there you go. Which Lucifer is first? Yeah, it says it is. I think it says it is. We'll see. I'm seeing a technical, but we're almost done for the day. Fridge Maker, thank you for letting me know. Oh, I see. It's not working on Twitch anymore. Oh, okay. All right. I'm getting there. Hopefully, we're almost done. I'll see. I'm probably going to rebuild the whole show. I've got some things. It's just not working for me. Looks good, not looking good. Now, part of the deal is I don't want my show to distract from the show. I don't want us to worry about the tech and be all worried about the tech and distract from talking about atheism and engaging with our people here. One of the things that I really do enjoy is whenever the Muslims come in from the Facebook groups, man, they make for really fun and interesting conversations. We all, it's a knee-jerk reaction for me and a lot of the people in the chat. They'll come in and they'll say something, about Muhammad or whatever, and we're like, oh, really? Well, Muhammad did this, and it's just knives out, and it's fun engaging them, talking about them. I got to learn more about that part of that particular religion because I do that exact thing every time they come in. I'm like, oh, well, Muhammad did this and Muhammad did that, but those things, those tiny little nuggets of atheist ammo, if you will, that I know information, those tiny little nuggets of atheist ammo. That's all I really know. And if you get me beyond that within their faith and their religion, I don't know that much about it. All I can do is go, okay, well, whatever your religion is a diamond, and over here you've got some really nice polished signs. But on this side of the diamond, it's really freaking ugly. Where you essay children, you unalive people, you bomb people, you blow up people. So it's really hard. But I don't know enough to argue about them. But I think I want to. Now, Christianity is a whole other thing. And my friends, let me ask you. I think maybe for Monday I'll put up a poll. Do you guys think I should debate Christians on the internet? Do you think I should do that? Now, I'm not going to debate Pastor Dean from his bathroom or from his basement or from his porch or wherever the hell he's going to debate. But I mean, do you guys think I should go on debate shows and debate Christians? Anybody for that? Wonder if I could actually change that poll. Can I change that poll for the last few minutes while we're here? Let's go here. Close. I'm going to try something. See. Live chat. There we go. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. We do have some newbies. There we go. I'm going to end that poll, though. Let's do another poll. Should Chris Mallard, the evil one, a formal debate. There we go. Let's see here. Yes and no. Boop. Just kind of get your thoughts. And again, I can't wait. I want to go watch the show and see how it looked after I get back from the Fane doctor. And I want to see, there's my stuff right there. I want to see if it, because on my part, it looks like I'm being really jicky, but nobody said anything. Everything looks good there. And participants. So we've got some opinions here on the debate thing. Giles says debates are difficult to find good content. Bastello says debates have no purpose, and Giles tosses in and participants. Fridge says, personally, I think when it comes to the GOP trying to remove women's rights to vote, I think they would if they could, but if they try it tomorrow, it would destroy them. That's right. It's going to work on them for a little while. It's going to take some time to get there. I think what they'll probably go after laws like the marriage laws that were put back in the 80s and 90s of the last century that make it to where women could get out of marriages. They'll start pulling away women's rights in other ways before they get to that, is what I'm saying. I don't know, though. You know what? Here's my deal. Debates can be entertaining. I get that. If that's our purpose is to entertain, then that's entertaining. Because I think I would be entertaining if you turned me loose and we did our thing. If you've seen Ranty Chris, just imagine Ranty Chris as part of a debate. You know, that would be interesting. But a lot of it is like, here's the deal. Are we going to have some kind of measure to gauge who won? Are we going to have like, whenever somebody comes in, they see the topic, they get to vote on the topic, and then at the end of the thing, they get to vote again to see if we've changed their mind? Or is there going to be something like that? Is it just going to be me talking to another guy? What's the purpose of it? You know, if it helps me build a channel, yeah, I'd go over there. But would that bring the right kind of people to my channel? Well, yeah, probably so. All the people are the right kind of people. If we get atheist people, that's great. If we get Christians in here, they become antagonists and they help drive the channel. So it works. Let me come back over here. I've changed my poll. 67% said yes. 33% said no. So far. So right now, in case you're just showing up, we got a poll going there. Answer that poll if you think I should have formal debates with Christians on the internet. Now, one of the things I am going to start doing and working towards doing, I know this is kind of a surprise to some people if you're listening. Hi, girl. The girl might not know this if she's listening. But I've actually been really solidly tinkering with the idea of public speaking. Going to public speaking, doing public speaking and publicly debating Christians. If I can get them to go on their own turf, that'd be best. If I could get them, they do Sunday church and they do Saturday night church or something, but pick an off night when they don't have a worship night and go, hey, can we debate at your church on Thursday at 7 p.m. and get up there and debate? Because they're not going to want to blow out their congregation days with some atheists, but they might. Who knows? They might get that just a swell in their kitty, what's that thing called? Their collection plate. The kitty. That's how old I am. You call it the kitty. Yeah. And that's again, what are we going to talk about as a religion? These religious debates, I see them all the time. And some of them get really heady, but I don't know. What are we going to talk about? Is your God good or bad? Well, then we're going to go into what's bad and what's good, and who's to say what's subjectively bad and what's subjective. Yeah. Oh, I see the little badges here. I was going to mention on the YouTube. Those of you who are members, they're the little dots with the colored badges. That's what I'm going to change. I'm going to try to change it to where whenever you first join as a member, you'll get the gauntlets. And, as you over time, instead of the badge changing color, you'll get more of the armor until you get the full set of armor over time. That's what I'm working on. So far, 73% of people say I should debate Christians on the interwebs. Yeah. Awesome. I think I'm going to look into that. I'm going to try to do things, if I can do them, that will be constructive and help me grow my channel. For those of you who don't know, I will be hosting on December 6th over on Truth Wanted with Objectively Dan, which is nice. I haven't talked to him in a long time since he came on my show 4 years ago. I'll be starting to host on Truth Wanted, and then with any luck, we'll move up to Talk Heathen and then Atheist Experience. I'd also like to get on at the line, but I got my foot in the door on one of them already. So look for that. It's going to be at, I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern, I think. But we'll get links. The week before the show, we'll get links and we'll get everybody there. So, I would see that's the whole thing. Bustello has a great point. Debate Milo Yiannopoulos and I will pay you $50. Here's the thing, man. I would debate him, but he would bring a big crowd, and there would be a big crowd, and I would get a swell of viewers and supporters and members. He probably would too, not for me, but just from the publicity. But it would do good for me if Pastor Dean wants to debate me. Oh yeah, no, it's 9:30. I really do need to go. Thank you, Sandy. Since on my appointment, I got to go to my fang doctor. So I was fixing to bail anyway. So the deal was about debating Pastor Dean. He's like, debate me. You're a coward because you won't debate me. Well, who are you? Do you have a church, a big organization we can debate in front of? Is it going to help me at all? Or is it just going to be me and you arguing so you can try to browbeat me with your points? Or are we going to have a formal, real debate in front of an audience? I have an audience. It's not the biggest audience. It's a wonderful audience, but I have one. Do you have an audience, or is it just you in your mother's basement? Talk at me, those kinds of things. Henry Hansen, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you there. Who knows? If there's a God, he might send a capable apologist. He might. You never know. Yeah, puppies or kittens? Puppies. Puppies are cool. I don't know. They're both cute, but puppies are cuter. I like puppies. All right, guys, I have to go do that voodoo. I got to get my fangs done and get that taken care of. I'm going to work on the show this weekend. I'm going to try to make it better. I'm going to review the show. Apparently nobody's complained about it. It looks bad, but on my side, it looks like I'm jittery. But when I went back and reviewed my show from the other day, it didn't look that way. So I'll have to figure it out. I want to bring you guys some quality content. I've been fighting with this damn show for the past week, and I haven't been able to drive the show forward. So I appreciate your patience with me. Thank you again for all you wonderful members, the subscribers. If you're watching for the first time, hit that subscribe button, become a subscriber. If you're a member, thank you very much. I'm going to do some member-only live streams, not for just the highest paid members, for all the members. If you're a member of the channel and you click the join and you become a member, we're going to have some live streams only, where we're going to talk about whatever stuff. I suspect in the beginning it'll just be me, because I don't have a lot of members, but they're wonderful there, and it just depends on when we do it and whether they'll be able to make it. But it's going to be fun. So you guys, if you can, have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. I'll probably do Sci-Fi Saturday tomorrow. Okay? If you're into some sci-fi, we're going to toss just sci-fi and coffee burps. I'm off. You have a great day. I'm going to go get my fangs looked at. Take care. Wrong button.
Thank you for watching the show. A special shout out to my gold leveled supporters. Thank you and have a great day.